thank the Asian American Federation. I also want to just say to all of you, in my view, that immigration reform is the defining issue of our time. And we do need to fight back against Trump's systematic racist agenda with a full force of local government and organizations like the Asian American Federation. This is why we're here this morning, because the way we fight back is through knowledge and fact. And to that end, I'm here today to share an analysis from my office which shows that New York City has seen a staggering increase in immigration enforcement compared to other major U.S. cities. Specifically, deportations in our city have grown by over 150% since 2017. That's an increase of over 1,500 New Yorkers per year who have been taken from their homes, separated from their families, their children, their communities, their jobs, with little certainty that they will ever return.
So, when you discussed this report with us today, for the immigrant community, that is at stake, that is in fear, that is perhaps now even more hesitant to come out and seek for help. What are your comments for that?
Well, look, I think the fight for the rights of immigrants is the cutting-edge civil rights issue of our time. We should do everything we can to ensure that New York City is a sanctuary city. Our report showed that deportations of immigrants are up 150%. Donald Trump is targeting New York City, targeting the fabric of being a sanctuary city. And so we are here today to let everybody knows the facts. And the facts are that there is targeting going on, innocent people being taken off the streets, people not safe in courthouses. And while we're making some change, it's clear that we have to do more. We need to fund community-based organizations. We need to enact driver's license reform for immigrants in Albany. And we have got to be vigilant every day. And I do think that people of all different backgrounds have to come together as one city and protect people who are vulnerable. And remember, just because they may not come for one group today doesn't mean they don't come for another group tomorrow. And we are in the same boat. And when you look at hate crimes of all different groups and the way this country is being divided by the administration, we have to come together. And that's why I'm here today. The horrific percentage increase puts New York City ahead of Boston, Detroit, Chicago, and New Orleans. And that's no accident. That is not simply coincidence. This is by design. New York City is Trump's target, and he's going after our neighbors from around the globe. In particular, Asian New Yorkers have been heavily impacted by the surge in ICE activity right here in New York. Asian New Yorkers comprise roughly 15% of the city's total population, but the majority of immigration court cases are about the Asian community.
The federation that's brought you here together has been working tirelessly on really advocating for Asian American rights and really bringing forth a voice that can make a difference. What do you have to say about their contribution for Asian Americans in general? And also, how do you think perhaps the media and the general public should help them and support them?
Well, we do need to make, funding decisions that will help people have a path to citizenship, that will give legal representation, whether you're Indian, Bangladeshian, Asian American, South Asian, Muslim. We have to make sure that everyone has equal representation, because a lot of these fights are happening in courthouses. And my sense is, as the presidential campaign kicks off, the Trump people believe that more attacks on immigrants that further divide the country helps him. We have a different view of our society and of our country, and we want to fight back every step of the way. So as controller, I crunch those numbers. I look at the facts, and we try to move our data to inform people that the fight for immigration reform, to give everyone an opportunity to be in our country, there's nothing more important. These numbers have got to be a call to action, because the chilling reality is that our city is far from being a sanctuary city. And behind these numbers are real people fearing for their lives. We talked to some undocumented New Yorkers for this report. They told us about coming to this country some 2 months ago, some 20 years ago, in search of opportunity. They told us about the struggle of finding medical care and shelter, and their fear of being taken from their children. What's more, in places like New York, going after immigrants is going after the heart of the city.
For you, what does this year represent in terms of political rhetoric, in terms of getting agendas done? What is going to be your top priority?
Look, immigration, the rights of immigrants in this city, the fact that 40% of people who live in New York come from somewhere else, which I think is just the greatest part of our city. When you look at the cultures and you go through our boroughs and you see different people living side by side, this is an international experience, and we've got to protect that New York City experience. That's why people come here, because they respect and love our diversity. And we should not let the haters come in and change our way of life. We may not have to always agree with each other, but we always respect each other. And that is how we live together. And that has been the tradition of the city that I was born and raised. And I'm going to do everything I can so that my little kids can have that same experience, living with people of all different backgrounds, going to school with people of all different backgrounds. What a great opportunity they have at the age of 7 and 5.5. And I've got skin in that game. I want to make sure that all children have that opportunity.